What's going on, fan of Fortune Cosmox fans alike? This is Phantom Base coming at you with our Week 7 APA prep for the Winnipeg Blue Blastoise, coached by Point Blank, aka Kurt or Dirt. His link will be in the description below. And before we get started, I apologize for the salt of my last week match. It was just weird, but it's alright. While I'm sitting here, I'm going to start this show back up, so I have some noise going on in the background. That's not the only look at. Anyway, hey guys, so much for your support this whole season. We are currently 2-4, and I would like to change that because we really should be like 5-1 or 4-2 around there. So, yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff. We're not going to get into that. We're not going to look past where we're from. And with that, we're going to look at this team that we are prepping for. His team is horrifying and matches up incredibly well against ours. And good lord, I've got to turn this down. If there's a way to turn it down, I need to do it because like my head's going crazy with all this music. I have music in the background to keep me, moving. Anyway, he has a team of Kieran Black, Sylveon, Lucario, Entei, Rose, Red, Blastoise, Registeel, Mega Aerodactyl, Exploud, Alolan, Raichu, and Golurk. His team should appear right about now. And looking at this team, we have to assess his threats. And right away, and before I go any further, I'm sorry for the whisper this week. We kind of had my stuff moved out of the room. I've been recording for a while, and so I'm having to make do. We are about to battle Kurt just a little bit, so I want to get this spread done because I've been keeping it long enough. So we are going to still do the live-ish team builder just so you guys can see my thought process here. So first off, I had to assess the threats, the offensive threats being the main ones to my team, like Kieran Black, Entei, and Mega Aerodactyl. Luckily for me, all three of those mons are weak to rocks. And furthermore, his hazard control is very limited. Like, his ways to remove hazards are Mega Aerodactyl with the Fog or Blastoise with Rapid Spin. That's it. That's all he's got. So, Blastoise is also very weak to Toxic, which I plan on bringing Toxic Spikes this week, I think. We will see. Like, hazards really punish him for switching. Kieran Black, every time it comes in, takes 25%. Entei takes 25%. Mega Aerodactyl takes 25%. Sylveon, if I can get any chip on Sylveon is good chip. Any chip on anything in this team is good chip. And it's really necessary that we get hazards pretty well stacked on this team. So that's kind of the plan going into this room. Build a balanced team this week once again. But with the mindset of we've got to get some hazards up, and especially if it brings some hazard control, we're really in the clear for this to be able to do some massive damage to his team. And I would like to think that he has to bring the Pokemon that I am expecting to bring are Kieran Black for sure. I've been hearing from a lot of people that I've been bouncing ideas off of that he may not bring Kieran Black, and I mean that's fine if he doesn't. But I expect Kieran Black, Sylveon, Entei, Roserade, Blastoise. Like, I expect either Kieran Black, Sylveon, Entei, Blastoise, Mega Aerodactyl, and either, this is the toss-up, it's either Roserade or Registeel. One of the two. So, that's my thought process is there. One of those is going to be a hazard setter for sure. His only hazard setters are actually in Registeel, Mega Aerodactyl, and Roserade, all of which die to 15. Fun fact, so keep that in, and Golurk, but it also dies to a lot of things on my team. I don't foresee him bringing it. It could be a good spin blocker per se, but in the same token, it's also kind of weak to, quite a few mons on my team. Particularly the likes of Decidueye, Hydreigon, even 15 can really do a lot of work to it. Mega Glalie is a huge threat to that thing too, so like it's, I don't foresee him bringing that. I can see him bringing a Alolan Raichu, but we do have Electivire that kind of switches in on it pretty well. We also do have one of the better ground types in the game, being Rhyperior. And I don't foresee him being X-Claw because we have Rhyperior, because we have Skarmory, because we have a Scavalier. And if he's going to choice lock himself into something like Boom Burst, it's just not going to be good for him. He would have to choice lock himself into Fire Blast as well, which means that we still have a free switch into a Rhyperior, and if your choice locks himself into Surf, we have a free switch into anything that resists, particularly something like Hydreigon. So it's really not in his best interest to bring that. I could see him bringing Lucario as the priority, mixed with the fact that I brought Florges every week since I've picked it up for free agency means that he might expect me to be bringing it. So I kind of anticipate either Lucario or a Banded Entei set with Iron Head on it, and Bulldoze for Bikini, Extreme Speed for priority, and then Sacred Fire just to nuke everything. So one thing that I have noticed is that Entei really poops on my team. Banded Entei just kind of plows through most of my team if I don't prepare for it well. Another issue is Sylveon is going to be a huge wall that I have to break. And so with that in mind, I decided in starting this prep that I was going to bring a Pokemon that can just nuke his team regardless of what switches in. And that Pokemon is Victini. I'm bringing a choice Banded Victini this week. Recreate, Bolt Strike, U-turn. And the last move I didn't know, but I did know the spread I wanted. I wanted max attack, max or 220 in speed Jolly to outspeed Kieran Black, and the rest in a Spadef, so we can take some hits from Sylveon, an Ice Beam from Kieran Black, and other things like that. Pretty cool. We don't plan on staying on things like Entei on this thing. We don't plan on staying in on. This also allows us to outspeed Adamant Entei, which is important because if we can outspeed Adamant Entei, which is the only way it can be run if he wants to run extreme speed, that's important. We can turn around and click U-turn on it and go out into something that can deal with it. But in any case, so choice made a Victini. If he is an offensive, non-HP invested Kieran Black, V-Create is about a 75% chance to one-shot it. Think about that. V-Create also, if I recall correctly, one-shot Sylveon every time. It's ridiculous how strong this thing is. And obviously things like Rose Raid, Registeel aren't going to switch in on it. Bolt Strike one-shots Mega Aerodactyl. So it's going to be a good time with Victini. Now, I didn't know the last move because this was all the coverage that I needed. And I couldn't really decide if I wanted to bring some situational coverage on it or not, but you'll see in a little bit what we decided to bring. But for now, I decided to leave it at that. The next Pokemon I'm bringing was a Pokemon I was like, I need to switch into Kieran Black, into both of its stabs, as well as its general coverage of things like Earth Power or Flash Cannon. So we decided to go with Scavalier. We're bringing the Assault Vest set again with Overcoat, because we don't want to be called a sleep powder. Get a sleep powder thrown at us from Rose Raid. And this thing also switches in Rose Raid really well too, unless it's packing HP Fire, which I anticipate. So we do have other switch-ins for it, namely things like Victini. So Exeter is here with us today, back again once again in Today People Today. He is packing Iron Head because otherwise we can't kill Kieran Black without it. We're running Drill Run because we 2-hit kill Entei and one-shot Lucario with it. As well as we have a roll 2-hit kill Registeel unless he's I don't even know what he'd be. And then we're also packing Knockoff and we're packing Megahorn. Because Megahorn's just a great way to just nuke something straight up out of the blue. Knockoff hits switch-ins like Golurk, hits things like Frick. It's just a good neutral hit in general, but especially things like Alolan Raichu, Golurk. And it also can get rid of leftovers on things like Sylveon, and I don't see him switching in Sylveon, but Registeel or get rid of something like Lucario. Granted, it could give him a justified boost, but he would have, I don't think he gets fire coverage, so we can proceed to go for a drill run and knock it out. which is super nice because we're running this particular spread on it. We're running Adam Max Attack with Max HP and the tiny bit into Spidef. And this Assault Vest will allow us to take max like 19% from an Ice Beam from Cure Black. HP Fire is a little bit scarier. We will have to pivot around that, but we can kind of play it safe a little bit, you know, for a little bit. Lead in, make him think that we're going to be bringing a Scavalier on his Cure Black. He may think this is going to be our switch into a Sylveon, and it is for a little bit. He's probably going to pack HP Fire on it. But if you pack HP Fire on Cure Black as well, it'd be smart of him. But see, we can train him to think that we're going to switch in every time with a Scavalier on his Cure Black. And that's not always going to be the case. We can always bring in the next Pokemon, which I needed a Pokemon to switch in, another switch into Sylveon, 100%. I also needed a really good switch into things like Cure Black. As far as like its other spam, things like Ice Beam, as well as a switch into the HP Fire prediction, and just an overall. Also, as I mentioned before, wanted both hazard removal and toxic spikes, so you already know where we're going. My buddy Squishy over here is coming back. Squishy is finally returning. It's been a while since he's been with us. We're running a Black Sludge set. Clear body as usual because why not? We're rocking Rapid Spin, Toxic Spikes, like I said. We're also running Scald and Acid Spray. And you're probably wondering, why are you running Acid Spray? I'm like, well, I'm glad you asked. Well, Acid Spray is for a Calm Mind setup Sylveon, because it will break down these special defense boosts and actually make them go negative. Essentially, we will, instead of getting +1, instead of bringing down to -1, or +2, we can down to -1, or +1, bring down to -1, yeah, that'll do. So, and it'll continuously go down, and we'll start knocking them really low. It's just a great way to what's the word I'm looking for? It's a great way to discourage him from setting up Calm Minds on me. So I decided to go with this particular spread here with max HP, max special defense, calm nature with 4 in speed. And what this does is it allows us to outspeed some mons that aren't fully invested. It's not really meant to outspeed anything, but if something's speed creeping us, but only speed creeping us by 1, we are going to speed tie, which can make things fun. Particularly if we're trying to go for something like a last second Acid Spray, or last second Scald, or last second Rapid Spin, really. So that's one thing. The other is that, also, by the way, getting a Scald off of Cure Black and potentially burning it would be lovely, but I would actually more prefer if it was poison because, one, if he's a leftover set, he would be losing health in the long haul. Whether he's poison or toxic, it doesn't matter. If he's a subset, then he will be punished for clicking substitute if he gets poisoned by toxic spikes. He can't say, and if his Sylveon gets poisoned, he will be forced to click Heal Bell, which I can, at that point, just bring in Victini and nuke the crap out of it. Like, that's my whole thing with Victini, is I plan to use it as kind of I plan to pivot with Tentacruel and Escavalier here into Victini, so we can come in and get a kill, essentially, every time it comes in, which is what I want. Now, next up, I was like, alright, I need a solid moment to outspeed his Mega Aerodactyl. It may not be the best check to Mega Aerodactyl, but it also will outspeed things like Scarf Cure Black. And I decided to, of course, bring Mienshao. We're bringing Toy Scarf, but of course, we're bringing Regenerator this week, though. And there's no reason for that. It's because I actually did Sock and Bopper is here. We are packing the following from Low Kick because it actually does straight up one-shot Cure Black. If I recall, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it one-shots Cure Black. We're bringing Knockoff, we're bringing U-Turn, and we're bringing High Jump Kick. And you're probably going, what? High Jump Kick without Reckless? What are you thinking? Like, well, High jump kick still does the damage I need it to do without being reckless. So if we somehow miss our first high jump kick ever, we can just switch out and gain a lot of health back. Which should be super duper nice. So the spread on this thing is we're running 180 in speed, because that is the benchmark we need to hit to outspeed Kieran Black. Max attack. And the rest goes into, I believe, a defense. So we can take a few hits on the physical side, but I say better. I think I'm actually gonna run it like this. That way we're have an uneven amount of HP, that way we can proceed to, if we can get hit with a leech seed, we can U-turn out it. The whole leech seed shenanigans, and actually I'm changing it to liquid ooze, because if he does put leech seed, I'm going to punish him severely for bringing it. And plus we rapid spin the seeds away. This thing can be an easy switch into Roserade as well. Like if you bring Giga Drain, forget about it. It's not gonna, yeah. That's gonna be the fun part. This thing is actually gonna be a really good switch into Roserade now that I think about it. Ooh, this could be fun. So yeah, me and Xiao is here, and this is essentially what it's going to do. Is it's just going to outspeed Scarf Kieran Black. It's going to outspeed Entei, and it will do a massive amount of damage to them on switches. Nothing switches into this thing. We're bringing a low kick in case he brings Golurk, so we can have a safe move to go for. So that we're not locking ourselves in a high jump kick. He switches in Golurk, we crash, we have to switch out. I would rather people go knock, honestly predict go for knockoff. That could be one good thing. The other thing is to click U-turn and be able to just pivot into Victini to kill it, or pivot into some of our other mons to kill it. So that's a good thing. Now, the next Pokemon I decided to bring was I noticed right away that this entire team is just going to kind of get dropped by a banded Entei. Like, look at this. A banded bulldoze onto my Tentacruel is just going to destroy. A banded Sacred Fire destroys, or banded bulldoze also destroys Victini. Banded Sacred Fire destroys Exeter and Sakamapa over here. I needed a safe switch in, and I took a page out of Mega Mogwai's book, and I'm so glad that I did. We are bringing Hydreigon. A physically defensive Hydreigon takes so little from Banded Sacred Fire, it's ridiculous. Ruin is coming back. We are bringing Dark Pulse, Earth Power, Roost, and Taunt. This week we are going max HP, max defense for a special attack with Bold Nature. Because we, not brave but bold, we do so much damage with this thing, even without much investment. But then on top of that, we take so many hits. We can, he's not bringing in our Dynamic Punch, Golurk. We wall it. We pretty much wall Mega Aerodactyl. We wall 100% Entei. Let's just bring Natural Gift. We can scout for that pretty easily. Because, like, if he's gonna go first, like, I don't see him bringing Natural Gift very we have too many switches for it. Things like Victini, Escavalier, Skarmory. Oh, yes, we wouldn't switch in, particularly with that. It's not conducive for him because we can also switch into our Tentacruel. There's so many things that resist Fairy on my team that there's really no reason for many people to bring Fairies against me. So, like, the only reason anyone should bring a Fairy against me is if they have Magearna, and I still have answers for that too. So, anyway, this is designed to take on Entei so that we do not get swept by a banded Entei. And this and our next mon deal super well with Entei, but in particular this one is what I wanted to deal with Entei, because the next mon is actually our WinCon for the week. And I was like, alright, I need rocks. Rocks are so important. I was like, but I also, I'm lacking like a dedicated just cleanup option. Yes, me and Xiao's a good one here. Me and Xiao's a great one. But I wanted to back up. So I decided I was going to bring Rhyperior this week because I cannot afford to bring freaking Skarmory. not against the guy who's got Entei and Cure Black, and a little Raichu, and everything else. Gets walled by Blastoise, gets walled by, Cure Black just poops on it. Bolt Strike is to a kill easy. Ice Beam's to a kill. So it's just not a fun time for Skarmory. Whereas Rhyperior with Duke Devlin will be here for his, I believe, 3rd appearance this season. And I knew right away I needed a solid rock. Otherwise, we weren't going to get anywhere. I was going to bring Stealth Rock. But then I also was like, let's bring Rock Slide, Earthquake, and I knew that I wanted this thing to be a setup. So I decided to bring Rock Polish. Not Rock Slide. Rock Polish. We are bringing, this particular spread is very important. We're bringing 36 HP, Max Attack, Adamant. Actually, no, it's not 36 HP. It is, no, that's right. It is 36 HP. We're bringing 36 HP and 212 in speed. And the others are going to get distributed into more. And here's my reason. With this particular investment, I'm expecting him, because he's got to bring Mega Aerodactyl. It does so well against my team, but this Mega Aerodactyl is going to be, well, first off, performance lesson. Second off, he's going to be investing only enough speed to outspeed my Ninja. So that being said, he's going to bring it with like 20 speed invested. It hit 168. Sorry, it hit 173. So that he can outspeed my Ninja. And the rest, he's going to put like 236 in HP. Because it's just ridiculous how much HP, that much hits he can live with that. I think that, so I invested enough speed for Rhyperior +2 to outspeed that particular investment on Mega Aerodactyl. And we can set up on Mega Aerodactyl with the Rock Polish. Because I decided that I would have to bring a Weakness Berry in order to be able to set up correctly. I don't foresee many things bringing HP Grass because most of my team just resists Grass altogether. But I could see him bringing something like Aqua Tail on his Mega Aerodactyl. So I decided to bring a Passion Berry because we live in Earthquake easy anyway. But Aqua Tail is way more dangerous because I think his Tough Claw is boosted, and on top of that, we're quad weak. So with a Passion Berry, we take like max 60% from an Aqua Tail. We can set up a Rock Polish and outspeed it if it has that investment. Rock Slide is an OK on it if it's taking around Rocks damage, which is why I need to essentially leave with Rhyperior, set up Rocks, keep it in the back for the late game. And that's what I'm hoping to do. So, but I actually made the Tentacruel instead of Toxic Spikes right away to force him to deal with it. But Rhyperior is going to be a lot of fun because after Kyurem takes around Rocks damage, it dies to Rock Slide. Entei dies to Earthquake. Rosary dies to Earthquake, and we will outspeed it unless it's Scar. So this will be a lot of fun to use, and it should be really good for cleanup, I think. So I'm really hoping that this team works out. And so I was like, alright, this team is super duper good. The only issue I'm having is I've still got to put a move on Victini. I can't decide what I want on it. So I decided, you know what, because I don't need any other coverage, I'm going to bring Trick. And here's why. For Sylveon. Because if we get Trick Choice Band on a Sylveon, then it's stuck with a useless item. And if it's a Cleric set like it should be in this particular matchup, or like I expect it to be in this particular matchup, it's going to be locked into something like Wish, or Protect, or even if it's locked into Hyper Voice, we have such an easy switch in the Tentacruel. If he locks himself into Psyshock, we have a switch into Hydreigon, or Victini, or Scavalier, and if he locks himself in HP Fire, we have a switch into Hydreigon, Tentacruel, Victini, Duke Devlin over here. We have so many ways to deal with a banded Sylveon that if I can trick it onto it after I've dealt the damage I need to with Victini, it'll be a good time. So that is the team. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if this all is meant for me, I'm going to go in this team and have this battle.